Hi, and welcome to 3 Things in 3 Minutes. I'm Nersi. Today we are looking at the Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game. From Office-style games, it plays 1 to 4 players and plays in about 20 minutes. So what it's about, the Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game is a cooperative trick-taking game that goes through the events of the first Lord of the Rings book. In each of 18 chapters, players choose from a selection of predetermined characters based on the narrative of the chapter, each with their own abilities such as gaining extra cards or trading cards. The chapters may also have additional rules, such as changing how the hands are played or how the different suits work. Now, unlike most trick-taking games, however, there is no trump suit. Now, while there are 5 cards in the ring suit, only the one ring, which requires the player dealt to take the Frodo character, can act as a true trump card, and even so, it's optional. Players will then play hands with normal trick-taking rules, but to win a chapter, players must meet all of the goals of their characters, as well as the character's requirements, and then they can move on to the next chapter, which is hidden under stacks in the box. So what I like. Over the 18 chapters, the game gradually starts adding increasingly challenging and complex mechanics. So the amount of changes from one chapter to the next never feels overwhelming, and they often build on mechanics, rules, and characters who were introduced in the previous chapters, while sometimes shedding older mechanics to keep it from feeling bloated. And because the game's chapters, objectives, and characters are specifically designed to work, you won't run into impossible objectives like you might with randomly drawn objectives in games like The Crew. And as abstract as the trick-taking game is, it does incorporate enough themes and story beats that you do get a sense of the Fellowship of the Ring story, by which I mean the book, not the movie. And the stained glass art is simple enough to not be distracting, but it's still quite pretty to look at. Now, points to consider. While the specifically designed and curated scenarios are more interesting, gameplay-wise and narratively, than random games like The Crew, they do affect the replayability, and while you can try some of the included post-campaign random setup, it is neither as effortless nor as interesting as the base game. And while you can replay and go back to previous scenarios, which is important if bringing in new players, sorting through and undoing the changes, particularly since some carryover between scenarios, is a lot of work, even with the included reference numbers on the cards. And the game is really best at 3 to 4 players, as 2 players requires managing a dummy hand out of a pyramid stack, and solo requires managing 4 hands. And as great as the art is, the cards bafflingly only have the numbers on one side, so you'll find yourself flipping the cards upright after shuffling them so you can actually see them in your hand. So, in summary, it adds a great sense of narrative progression to cooperative trick-taking games, though it's best experienced with a consistent fellowship of 3 to 4 players. It gradually adds characters and rules with an overall gentle progression, even though it makes replaying the scenarios a bit cumbersome. And it features some beautiful yet simple art that bafflingly will require that you keep flipping the cards upright to keep track of them. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and share this video and you subscribe to the channel. Thanks.